COYOTE, a Jessica James mystery. Written by Kelly Oliver. Narrated by Susan Mcgurl. Part 1, Chapter 1. Jessica James had only been home for 2 hours, and already Whitefish was a couple of sizes too small. She waited until everyone else cleared out, then loaded a paper plate with crusty potato salad and the last piece of huckleberry coffee cake. Sitting alone at a picnic table under the shade of a hemlock tree, she was just digging in when she heard a ruckus coming from the waterfront in the direction of Specht Mill. Stopping mid-bite, she turned toward the river. All she could make out were 4 silhouettes, arms flapping. Jessica peered in the direction of the commotion. To her surprise, she recognized her cousin Mike shaking his finger at a tall, overdressed woman who stood out amongst the lumberjacks. Mike was usually so laid back he was prone. She'd never seen him this agitated before. Grabbing her beer bottle and balancing her plate by its sticky edge, she headed across the park grounds to investigate. As she wove her way through the jumble of lumberjacks, mill workers, Forest Service hacks, and timberland owners, and their wives and girlfriends, their unforgiving stares burned through her freckled skin. Suddenly, she was an alien visiting from another planet. Except for the woman in the navy blue sheath and pearls down by the river, she was the only one wearing a dress, albeit a wrinkled gabardine vintage number with faded black velvet embroidery. And for all the cowboy boots in the crowd, hers were the only ones painted bright red with model paint. But it wasn't just her funky mismatched clothes or tangled mop of blonde hair that made folks shake their heads and tut with their tongues as she passed by. Even before she left Montana to go back east and study philosophy, she'd never been able to meet their expectations of a proper young lady. A klutzy tomboy constantly getting into scrapes and a troublemaker constitutionally unable to play by the rules, growing up she'd always run afoul of the natives. Still, she hadn't expected kids she'd known since kindergarten to turn up their noses and snub her attempted greetings. On the way from the airport, Mike had warned her that some of the old crowd thought she'd gotten too big for her britches, coming back and flaunting her fancy degree and book learning. But she could no more resist philosophy than they could resist reproducing. Just as their new baby bumps sprouted every spring following a cold, harsh winter, her perpetual soul-searching was the natural...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?